Welcome to Headphone News, Greater Toronto edition for Thursday, December 12, 2024.
Economic impact of Taylor Swift's concerts in Toronto. Taylor Swift's concerts in Toronto had a remarkable effect on local spending. According to a report from TD Economics, there was a 15% increase in spending compared to last year. Direct spending from the concerts reached about $152 million, contributing to a total economic impact of $282 million. Out-of-town visitors brought in around $141 million, while local fans added about $11 million to the economy. These concerts, part of the Eras Tour, took place over 2 weeks in November 2024 and included 6 performances. Events like these can significantly boost local economies by increasing sales in hospitality and retail. Successful concerts often lead to improved facilities and a stronger reputation for the host city, benefiting both residents and businesses.
Subway delays on Toronto's Line 1. Riders of the Toronto Transit Commission faced significant delays on Line 1 for the second time this week due to a signal issue. Service was temporarily stopped between Vaughan Metropolitan Centre and Finch stations at 7:15 a.m. on December 11, 2024. Shuttle buses were brought in to help commuters during the disruption. After about 30 minutes, service resumed, but delays continued for a while until regular operations were back on track at 10:30 a.m. Previous delays occurred on Monday, December 9, highlighting ongoing challenges in the transit system. Frequent delays can frustrate commuters and impact productivity in Toronto, a major city in Canada. The TTC may need to consider upgrades to infrastructure and regular maintenance to improve service reliability and prevent future disruptions.
Hit-and-run incident in Mississauga. A male pedestrian was seriously injured in a hit-and-run incident in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, on December 11, 2024. Just before 6:30 a.m. he was crossing at the intersection of Ontario Street and Britannia Road East when a vehicle hit him and drove away. Peel Regional Police and paramedics quickly responded and took the injured man to a hospital. This tragic event highlights the ongoing concern for pedestrian safety in cities. Hit-and-run drivers can face serious legal consequences, including fines, losing their driving license, and even imprisonment. To prevent such incidents, we need better safety measures, like clearer signs and public awareness campaigns. Community support for victims is also essential, providing necessary medical help and legal resources.
Ontario's bike lane law faces legal challenge. A group of cyclists in Ontario, Canada, is taking a stand against a new law known as Bill 212. This law allows the provincial government to remove bike lanes in cities and towns. Cycle Toronto argues that this legislation puts the safety of cyclists and pedestrians at risk. Bill 212 was quickly passed by the Ontario legislature in late November 2023. The group claims that getting rid of bike lanes could lead to more injuries and even deaths. The case will be heard in the Ontario Court of Superior Justice. What does this mean for the future of cycling in Ontario?
Toronto opens new shelters for people in need. Toronto has opened 6 new shelters for people facing homelessness. This program is part of a 10-year plan to support various communities, including Indigenous people, youth, men, women, and couples. Each shelter will house about 80 people, and the city aims to build a total of 20 new shelters by 2033. This effort highlights Toronto's commitment to addressing homelessness and helping those in need.
Potential tariffs on Canadian energy exports. Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, has announced plans to stop energy exports to the United States if President-elect Donald Trump goes ahead with taxes on Canadian goods. Trump has warned of a 25% tax on all products coming into the U.S. from Canada and Mexico. Currently, about 60% of U.S. crude oil imports and roughly 85% of U.S. electricity imports come from Canada. In 2023, Ontario provided power to 1.5 million homes in the U.S. Daily trade between the U.S. and Canada amounts to around 3.6 billion Canadian dollars, which is about $2.66 billion US.
Concerns about high salaries for Ontario city workers. City workers in Ontario, Canada, are receiving high pay and perks, with some earning over 100,000 Canadian dollars, which is about 74,000 United States dollars. Many people are concerned that these salaries are out of touch with everyday folks who are struggling with rising living costs. As cities prepare their budgets for 2025, there's increasing worry about whether these pay packages are fair. This situation raises important questions about spending priorities and the impact on taxpayers.
RSV infections rise among infants in Canada. Recent data reveals that most respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, infections in Canada are affecting babies under 1 year old. Health Canada has approved a new vaccine that can protect these infants from RSV, reducing the chances of hospitalization by 80%. In the week ending November 30, 51% of RSV cases were reported in infants. RSV can lead to serious health issues, and about 10% of those hospitalized require intensive care. This vaccine is currently available in specific locations across Canada.
Toronto Ombudsman criticizes shelter policy. Toronto's Ombudsman, Kwame Addo, has criticized the city for denying shelter beds to asylum seekers. He described this decision as a serious mistake that could have significant consequences. Although he offered suggestions to improve the situation, the city manager turned them down. This refusal raises concerns about responsibility and community trust in local government.
Severe snowstorms expected in Ontario. Environment Canada is warning of serious snowstorms and blizzards in parts of Ontario. Areas north and west of Toronto may experience travel delays. Snowfall could reach up to 10 centimeters per hour, with total accumulation hitting as much as 80 centimeters by Friday. People are encouraged to get ready for tough travel conditions and to check local weather reports for the latest updates.
Ontario's new law on homelessness and drug use. The Ontario government in Canada is taking steps to address homelessness and drug use in community spaces. They have introduced a new law that gives local police more authority to manage homeless camps in parks and vacant lots. Fines for breaking the law and using drugs will increase, potentially reaching 10,000 Canadian dollars, which is about 7,400 United States dollars. To help prevent homelessness and provide different housing options for those living in camps, the province plans to invest 75.5 million Canadian dollars, roughly 55.8 million United States dollars. This new law is a response to concerns from residents and local leaders about safety and community health.
Teenagers charged in Richmond Hill shootings. 3 teenage boys are facing 109 charges following a series of shootings in Richmond Hill, Ontario, Canada. These incidents took place at a cinema and an elementary school. The boys, aged 15 and 16, are connected to several violent incidents in the Greater Toronto Area, often called the GTA. Fortunately, no one was injured in these shootings. 2 of the boys were already under bail conditions for previous crimes, while the third boy violated the terms of his youth sentencing. The police are actively investigating these events. That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.